Believe in your heart, absolutely. Confess with your mouth, that could be a lot more difficult. John chapter 21, verse 25 says that Jesus performed so many miracles, you can't even record them all. There aren't enough books. I think it's safe for us to say among 2 to 3 million people in a small space like Israel, everybody's household in one way or another was affected by the ministry of Jesus. Now you look at Matthew chapter 14, you look at Mark 6, you look at Luke 9, John 6, Matthew 15, you'll see that Jesus had performed miracles to the thousands. He had fed thousands of Jews. He fed thousands of Gentiles. The Sermon on the Mount, most historians say that thousands of people gathered on the side of that hill to hear Jesus teach that day. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 3 through 6. It's a recording of Jesus after he resurrected from the dead, actually visited 500 people. This man died publicly. He resurrects from the dead and he makes his way around and visits 500 people. Even with all those people and even with all those miracles, from Acts chapter 1, we read that only 120 people gathered in the upper room as Jesus called them to after he had resurrected from the dead. You know, the miracles that Jesus performed where he fed people, if you think about it, yeah, Jesus performed a miracle. That's amazing. He was feeding all these people with very little. That's crazy to think about. But we want to know what's even more baffling? That many people were willing to sit in the wilderness and risk starvation just to be at the man's feet. All those miracles, all those people, all of those intimate groups and large groups, and only 120 people actually showed up to the upper room. Whenever Jesus showed up, whenever there was a gathering, miracles took place. You either got life-changing teaching or you had life-changing miracles. I mean, people were so desperate to get to the person of Jesus. They were ripping the roof off of Peter's house just to get to the man. But only 120 people showed in the upper room, which means a lot of people believed, but there weren't very many people that were willing to confess. I want you to think about that Acts 2 event where the Holy Spirit came. They were a part of not just a life-changing event. They were a part of a supernatural event that would change the course of human history. And why did they get to be a part of that? Because they were willing to confess Jesus publicly. There is an incredible move of God waiting to happen in your life if only you would be willing to confess.